Hello students. So in this video we are going to solve the exam paper 2018 of class 8 NSO set A questions 26 to 50. So let's begin. You learn the quickest method. You also learn the science concepts and fundamentals, and this will also definitely help you in your class 8 school exam. So you may want to like and subscribe to my channel. So the first question, consider the following statements. Natural gas can be supplied to homes and factories through pipes. Okay, so you have to find the correct statements, which is true because natural gas is normally supplied to homes and factories through pipes. Some of you may have got your gas pipeline where natural gas is supplied. Number two, natural gas is obtained by fractional distillation of petroleum, which is false. Natural gas actually is obtained from the earth, isn't it? So they drill the holes normally where the petrol and petroleum is found, and along with the petroleum you also find natural gas. Okay, so you have to actually drill the holes in the ground, and it is that is where you find the natural gas. And natural gas is actually, it is formed because of layers of decomposing plants and animals which are subject to intense heat from the earth and the pressure of rocks. It is not formed by the fractional distillation. So number two is incorrect. Number three is natural gas is a cleaner fuel, and on burning it does not produce any ash or smoke, isn't it? Which is true, isn't it? Because even in your home, when you burn the gas from your gas pipeline, it does not form any ash or smoke. And natural gas is an exhaustible source of energy like fossil fuels, which is true, isn't it? Because it's a natural fuel. It's a natural occurring fuel, and all naturally occurring fuels are exhaustible. So 1, 3, and 4 are correct, and 2 is incorrect. Number 2 is Rishabh has arranged the following setups to study the process of rusting. So iron nail will rust in test tubes. Which test tubes? So rusting of iron nail. So the first one, sodium chloride, it will increase the rate of rusting, isn't it? So here in this case the iron nail will definitely rust because sodium chloride, it will increase the NaCl is sodium chloride, it will increase the rate of rusting. Number 2 is aluminum coil, and it is wound over the iron nail. It is placed in water. Now aluminum coil is, it will react with water to form aluminum oxide, and aluminum oxide is not porous. So for the water to rust the nail, it cannot enter this the porous aluminum oxide. So that's why the iron nail will not rust. In number 3, again what happens is anhydrous calcium chloride is desiccant. What it means, it does uh, not allow any water. It will and hence the iron water vapor, and hence the iron will not rust because it will absorb all the water vapor. It will absorb all the water vapor. Sorry, it will absorb any water vapor that enters the test tube, and hence the water will not rust. So in 2 and 3, the iron will not rust. However, in the 4, the copper coil, it is wound over the iron nail. But water, the copper coil is not porous. So water can very well enter the copper coil, and because of that, the iron nail will rust. So only in 1 and 4, the iron nail will rust. In 2 and 3, the iron nail will not rust. Okay, number 3. Which of the following statements are incorrect? Gold and silver are most malleable and ductile, which is true, isn't it? Even from 1 gram of gold, you can make a very fine wire, which is about 1 kilometer long, more than 1 kilometer long. So that is how malleable and ductile the metals are. All metals are hard and strong, which is incorrect. This is incorrect. So potassium, sodium, you can actually cut sodium with your knife, or potassium with a knife you can cut the metal. Sodium, potassium are not strong metals. Mercury and gallium are exist in liquid state, isn't it? Which is true because mercury is used in the thermometer, and it expands because of the fever or because of your body heat. So mercury is in liquid state, and most of the metals have high specific gravities, which is also true, isn't it? Because of higher densities, they have got higher specific gravities. Next one, match the following columns for the flame of a candle. Now again, easy one. So P, hottest part. Which is the hottest part? The outermost layer, isn't it? Outermost layer is the hottest part because it is burning in the presence of oxygen, and that's why it is blue. It is the outer zone of complete combustion, which is the hottest part. So P, which is 3, isn't it? Outermost zone of complete combustion, which is the hottest, which is blue. Then Q is moderately hot, isn't it? So Q is middle layer. So middle layer is moderately hot, which is basically of yellow color, isn't it? And the least hot part is the innermost zone. Innermost zone of the unburnt wax vapors. Unburnt wax vapors is the innermost zone. Okay, next one. Following statements are given by 4 students. Rashmi, sodium chloride is an acidic salt, whereas washing soda is basic salt. Sodium chloride is a neutral salt. It is not an acidic salt because the salt that we eat, sodium chloride, it's a neutral salt, isn't it? So Rashmi is basically she has given the incorrect statements. Otherwise, Akshi, the aqueous solution of sugar does not change the color of either red litmus or blue litmus. This is fine, isn't it? Because it's a neutral solution. Tamarind tastes sour, whereas baking soda is bitter, which is true. And Srishti says apple juice does not change the color of red litmus solution, which is also true, isn't it? So only Rashmi is incorrect. Read the given statements and select the correct option. Bakelite is used for making electric switches and plugs. And it is a thermosetting polymer and an insulator. So both of these are true, isn't it? Because bakelite is thermosetting. What it means is thermosetting. If you heat bakelite, it will melt. And then if you cool that bakelite, it will set in that same form, the melted form. So whenever you see, when you see if the switches has melted or any circuit boards which are melted, they will set in that same form as the melted form because they are thermosetting. They are thermosetting, and it's also an insulator. It must be insulator, isn't it? Because that's why you can operate the switch. When you press the switch, you should not get the electric shock. So both these properties, thermosetting and insulator, they make them a good a material to make electric switches and plugs. Find the incorrect match. Okay, so incorrect match is Cl2 plus H2 is 2HCl, which is true. This is true, but hydrogen is acting as oxidizing agent. This is false. This is false, isn't it? It is hydrogen is a reducing agent. Hydrogen is a reducing agent. What it means is when hydrogen is passed over hot metallic oxide of copper, lead, iron, it removes the oxygen from them and reduces them to their corresponding metal. So if you pass hydrogen over copper oxide, actually it will turn to copper, isn't it? It will reduce them. It will absorb the oxygen from copper oxide. So hydrogen is not an oxidizing agent, it is a reducing agent. Okay, next one. Which of the following statements is or are incorrect? Perspex is thermoplastic, which is transparent like glass, but is much stronger. So one is correct. Nylon thread cannot support more weight as compared to steel wire. This is incorrect. Surprisingly, nylon thread is stronger than steel because nylon fibers are held together by amide linkages, which are very, very strong. And nylon thread are normally used in parachute ropes and heavy duty ropes. So nylon thread with the same diameter, they're actually stronger than the steel wires. Polyester and nylon on burning give the smell of burning hair, which is incorrect, isn't it? If you burn wool, it is burning hair because wool is like a hair, isn't it? But polyester and nylon are chemical fibers, synthetic fibers, isn't it? So when they burn, their smell is like chemical odor. And terling, a synthetic fiber, can be used instead of wood. No, instead of wool. So terling, because it's a synthetic fiber, it is normally used for plastic bottles or raincoats, or nets and sails. It cannot be used instead of wool, isn't it? So 2, 3, and 4 are incorrect. Next one, given below is a list of few chemicals that are used for protection of crops, isn't it? How many of them are insecticides? So malathion is an insecticide, diacystone is an insecticide, and gamexine is an insecticide. Rest all are herbicide. Dalapon is a herbicide, and then butachlor is a herbicide, and simazine is a herbicide. So herbicides are normally used to kill off unwanted plants or weeds, and insecticides are used to kill the unwanted insects or pests. Okay, refer to the given figures and select the incorrect statements regarding them. L could be pseudomonas that help in biodegradation of organic pollutants. This itself is incorrect, isn't it? because pseudomonas normally they are in the shape of like capsules. They are not in this round shape, and they cause infection. These the bacteria they cause infection, and they do not help in biodegradation of organic pollutants, isn't it? So L itself is incorrect. Okay, following are the differences between manures and fertilizers. So which of them are incorrect? Okay, they are soluble in water and absorbed by plants easily. So number one, fertilizer is correct, isn't it? Because fertilizers are chemical compounds. They are soluble in water. Normally they are sprayed. What is means is fertilizers are available in powder form. You have to mix them with water and then they spray them in the fields. So fertilizers are soluble in water. They are organic substances. No, they are not. They are basically chemical compounds. Excessive use can change the chemical composition of the soil and it also pollutes waters, which is true, isn't it? You should not use fertilizers in excess because they are chemical compounds. They may damage the soil texture, which is also true, isn't it? Because they are chemical compounds, they damage the soil texture. And these are not nutrient specific. No, this is incorrect. This is incorrect because fertilizers are nutrient specific, isn't it? If the soil is deficient in nitrogen, then you got a specific fertilizer for nitrogen. You may have fertilizers for improving the nitrogen content in the soil. If the soil is lacking potassium, then you may have a fertilizer for increasing the potassium content in soil. So fertilizers always and always are nutrient specific. So 2 and 5 are incorrect. Identify the parts of female reproductive system from the given statements and select the correct option. So it's all only two, isn't it? So it receives sperms. What receives sperms? Vagina. Vagina receives sperms. And here zygote develops into a baby. In the uterus, the zygote develops into a baby. That's it. So P and Q, vagina and uterus. You don't need to solve anything else. Okay, refer to the given figure and select the incorrect statement regarding label parts W, X, Y, and Z. W again is the brain and pituitary gland of the brain, which is responsible for growth. X, the gland in the throat, thyroid gland, it regulates the metabolic rate, thyroxine. Y, what is Y? Y is the adrenaline gland. It's on the top of the kidneys. It produces adrenaline and it regulates metabolism, blood pressure, and immune system. It does not. It does not affect the development of gametes and differentiation of secondary sexual characters in males and females. No, adrenaline is basically it regulates the metabolism, blood pressure, and immune system. Normally, in athletes and all, they have got high adrenaline, isn't it? Because they have to have that level of fitness or high adrenaline. It increases their fitness. And Z is pancreas. It provides insulin so as to control the sugar levels in the body. So adrenaline, it regulates metabolism. It is not linked to the development of gametes. So option C is the incorrect option. Select the incorrect statement. Sulfur dioxide gas combines with hemoglobin of blood and prevents transport of oxygen by it. So it is not sulfur dioxide, it is nitrous oxide, isn't it? It is nitrous oxide which combines with hemoglobin and prevents oxygen transport of oxygen. So nitrous oxide is also called as laughing gas or it is also a sedative. So normally in mild, when it is in mild quantities, because of the less oxygen to the brain, a person can just simply laugh on anything. So it is called as laughing gas. But if you have it in medium quantities, the person may become unconscious. So it is also used in sedatives for operations. But if you use it is in higher level of quantities, because there is no oxygen to the brain, a person can die, isn't it? Because if the brain is dead, then the organ or the other organs cannot survive for long. So number one is the incorrect statement. It is not sulfur dioxide, it is nitrous oxide. Next one, identify P, Q, R, and S in the given Venn diagram and select the incorrect option. So what is S? S here, it is bounded by double membrane. It is present in plant cell and it is present in animal cell. So nucleus, it is present in both plant and animal cell and it is bounded by a double membrane. So S is nucleus and nucleus also has DNA. The characteristics, the main characteristics. And P, What is P? It is double membrane. It is present in plant, but it is not present in animal, which is plastids. What is R? Which is present in both plant and animal cell, but it is not double membrane. So R is Golgi apparatus, which processes proteins. And what is Q? Which is present in animal cell, not in plant cell, and doesn't have a double membrane. So centrioles, isn't it? So Q are centrioles. So R could be organelle that contains genetic material, which is wrong. R is Golgi apparatus, which is used for to process proteins, isn't it? What contains genetic materials is S, nucleus, isn't it? So option C is the incorrect option. Okay. 41. Match column 1 with column 2 and select the correct option from the given codes. So solve here by looking at the options. So here A has option 2 and 5 in the most of the its in the options. A 2 5 has got 1 2 and 3, isn't it? So 2 and 5 could be the right answer. B 1 and 4, it has got two instances, 1 and 4. So for B 1 and 4 is the seems to be the right option. For C 3 and 6, 3 and 6 occurs two times, so 3 and 6 is the right option. And for D the 7 and 8, 7 and 8 is 1 2 and 3 times, it is 7 and 8. So for D 7 and 8 seems to be the option which is correct. So in only B it has got all the options which occur in the maximum frequency. So B is the right answer, isn't it? So here solve by looking at all the options. A very innovative way of solving the question. Identify W, X, and Y in the given figure and select the incorrect option. Okay, so it is the given figure of a cow's stomach, and you have to identify W, X, and Y. So in the cow's stomach, so what is W? This part, W is the reticulum, isn't it? It is the reticulum which traps the heavy dense objects, because normally the cows they eat anything. They may eat small stones and pebbles. So all these heavy objects are trapped in the reticulum of the cow. And then Y, where is Y? Y is this portion. So Y is abomasum. Abomasum is the true stomach where proteins are digested. Okay. And then this is omasum. This is omasum, and then this is rumen. Okay. So X is rumen. Rumen is partially chewed food. All the anaerobic bacteria, it has got anaerobic bacteria. So partially chewed food is stored here. So W is a chamber which is referred to as true stomach. So W, this reticulum is not the true stomach. What is the true stomach? Is Y, abomasum. Abomasum is the true stomach, isn't it? Where the proteins are digested. So option B is the incorrect option. Refer to the given experimental setups A and B and select the correct option regarding gases X and Y. So sun is shining here in A, and a aquatic plant is here, and water. So normally aquatic plant, normally they are green in color, photosynthesis. And because of photosynthesis, what is going to be evolved? Oxygen. So X is oxygen, isn't it? So you have to select the correct option. And Y. And here in B, it is the apparatus is kept in black box. Because it is in black box, what is going to happen is no photosynthesis is going to happen. The plants will digest its own food. The plant will basically digest its own material, which is the carbohydrates. The plants will start digesting their own carbohydrates, and will release what will it release? It will release the carbon dioxide. Because of black box, photosynthesis does not occur, and because of that, when the plant wants to survive, it will digest its own carbohydrates and it will release in that process carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is released in the absence of sunlight. Okay. Refer to the given figures showing seeds, fruits of 3 different plants and select the option which contains the plants that can replace X, Y, and Z respectively based on the mode of dispersal. So easy question, very easy question. X, this thing looks like a helicopter, isn't it? So it is wind dispersal. So seeds which look like a helicopter, they are dispersed by wind. And dandelion also is dispersed by wind. So X could be replaced by dandelion. So that's it. You don't need to go anywhere else. X is dandelion, and option C is the correct answer. Okay, next one. Which of the following graphs shows the likely relationship between percentage of pollution to the population of people in a particular town, isn't it? So option C is the correct option, because of the as the population of people increase, they are going to build more factories, they are going to get more cars, and factories and cars, they increase the pollution. So percentage of pollution will also increase, because the people will start using the factories, they'll start using the cars, which all pollute the air. Okay, next one. So read the given passage and select the correct options for the following questions. Figures show a negatively charged rod, an uncharged metal sphere on an insulating stand, and connection to the earth. Any connection to the earth, which is earthing, isn't it? The given apparatus is used to charge the metal sphere positively. At the end of charging process, the metal sphere has a charge of 15C. The charging process takes 5 seconds. Charging the metal sphere involves different steps as below. Arrange the steps in correct order to charge the metal sphere. So what are the correct steps? The first step is 2. When you bring the rod near the part of the metal sphere which is near to the negatively charged rod, that part becomes positively charged. Opposite part becomes negatively charged, isn't it? So then is number 4. When you join the earthing, the electrons will flow to the earth, isn't it? The negative charge will flow to the earth. What remains is only the positive charge. Then number 1, isn't it? So number 1 is you remove the earthing. When you remove the earthing, the electrons have all gone away. Only the positive charge does remain. And number 3, when you remove the charging rod, all the positive charges, they spread across the sphere. They will spread across the sphere to form a uniform charged sphere, isn't it? So 2, 4, 1, and 3 is the correct sequence. And if the average current is defined as net charge flowing per unit time, then find the average current in the charging process. Extremely easy question. So what is the total charge? Total charge is 15C. And what is the time? Time it took was 5 seconds. So the average current is charge flowing through time, isn't it? The charge through time. So that is 15C upon 5S is the average current. Okay, 48. Observe the given figure carefully. So select the correct statements from the following. In beaker P, blue color of solution changes to green color, which is true, isn't it? Because it is aqueous solution of copper ions and iron is placed. So metallic ion is converted into ferrous ion, which is green in color. The metallic ion will be converted to the ferrous ion, which is green in color, and the solution will turn green, isn't it? Because ferrous ion is green in color. Number 2, in beaker Q, no reaction takes place. No, it is false, because in beaker 2, zinc and aqueous solution of iron. Zinc is higher reactive than iron. Fe is iron, ferrum is iron. Zinc is more reactive than iron, because it is on a higher level than iron. So reaction definitely will take place in Q. In beaker R, if Y is aluminum, then reaction will take place, which is true, isn't it? Aluminum is more reactive than zinc. Aluminum is higher than zinc in the reactivity table. So R is in if Y is aluminum, then it will definitely react with the solution of zinc ions, isn't it? So reaction definitely will take place. In beaker R, if Y is tin, then reaction will take place. So tin and zinc, tin is lower than zinc, so no reaction will take place, isn't it? Because tin is lower than zinc in the reactivity table, no reaction will take place. So which are the correct statements? 1, beaker P, blue color changes to green, which is true. And in 3, beaker R, if aluminum is Y, then reaction will take place. So 3 is also true, because aluminum is more reactive than zinc. Okay, next one. Refer to the given flow chart. Okay, so let's see. Golden langur is already endangered. So about 6,500 adults remain. Passenger pigeon is already extinct. Okay, it was already extinct in 1914. So Q could be golden langur, which is already endangered, because only 6,500 adults remain in the wild. And S could be passenger pigeon. So specimens likely to become endangered in the future? No, because specimens are already extinct. Passenger pigeon is already extinct. It was the last one died in 1914. And for information, chinkara is of least concern species because it is not endangered. And about Indian chinkara population is about 1 lakh in the wild. Hawaiian crow is already extinct. In our Hawaiian crow is already extinct in the wild. Asiatic lions is already endangered. Gir lions or Asiatic lions are already endangered. About 700 lions, adult lions, they live in the Gir jungle. Asiatic wild ass, which is Indian wild ass, which is near Sabarkantha in Gujarat, are near threatened because there are about 6,000 adults in the wild in the north of Gujarat. And Tibetan antelope, which is near threatened, which is 1,50,000 in the wild. So next one, the given graph shows the blood examination report of Mr. X. So note that the white blood cells count is normal for Mr. X. The platelet count also is normal, but the RBC count is more than normal. The RBC count is more than normal. So RBC is what? Red blood cells, hemoglobin. They help in the oxygen carrying, isn't it? They help in oxygen carrying capacity. So what it means is Mr. X may have gone to a higher altitude because in high altitude the oxygen is less in air. So Mr. X has to get as much oxygen from the air as possible. So what it means is not only Mr. X has to breathe in deeply, but the oxygen what is in the air, it has to be most of the oxygen has to be absorbed. And for that, RBCs have to be higher in number, isn't it? RPCs have to be higher in number because they help in oxygen carrying, and that's why the RBC count has gone up because Mr. X may have gone to a higher altitude place like Leh Ladakh or maybe in the Himalayas. So with that, we come to the end of the paper, students, and you may want to like and subscribe to the channel so that you could be notified about the next videos, which will be in the next few days. So till that time, all the best and see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.